Now, before we start, the guiding principle here is this is an estate. This is a housing estate, and by May, when we're doing the exam, hopefully the weather will be better, and on the weekend people will have their windows open. So adjust your volume to suit. So you're going to get some echo if you shout too loud, and you know, just think, would you like a whole bunch of people suddenly descend on you for 5 minutes, suddenly shouting the odds? And not only that once, but several times.
There's a window up there.
Exactly. So it's worth remembering when you're deciding how you're going to approach it. So you're going to be gathering your group closer together. Second guiding thing is there's a plaque to Samuel Lewis, I'm going to talk about in a minute, up there, but it's not worth having your group looking this way because there's nothing more to look at. This is the important thing. It's useful for you to remind yourself about the dates and stuff as you're standing there. So this is the Samuel Lewis estate. The Samuel Lewis was a Birmingham entrepreneur born in 1837. He was originally made some money selling pens, then he went on to sell jewellery, but he made all of his money through lending money, and he did this actually to the aristocrats of England who were always in debt, and he became the favoured money lender. So he did quite a bit of business with some of the dukes, duchesses and earls and marquises of the land. But he was always conscious of his roots and of the social problems in this country, one of which of course was the acute housing problem. We're talking about housing problems in London today, but there was just as bad, in fact they were worse in London of the late 19th century. There was, people lived in appalling conditions, and most of the working class people, only those with regular jobs could get somewhere they could rent on a regular basis. Most others had to rent by the night. They had lodgings, and if they couldn't pay because they didn't get any work that day, for example, they would have to do a moonlight flit, as it was called. They'd have to disappear and find somewhere else to live. So that was what people had to put up with in London. So when Lewis died, in his will he left the today's equivalent of £30 million to fund a housing charity called the Samuel Lewis Trust, and it built its first set of buildings here in Islington. This is the first one. There are others at Fulham, Chelsea, Camberwell and Stamford Hill. And as you can see, if you think about the Peabody buildings that we've looked at earlier in the course,
these are much nicer.
These are much more interesting architecturally, aren't they? They're very much influenced by the arts and crafts movement. Look up to the gables at the top. You'll find architectural historians refer to them as Dutch-style roofs. There are interesting bowed windows rather than the flat front barrack-like Peabody buildings, and there were other facilities provided on the estate as well. So once again, working class people had for the first time, many of them, inside toilets, running water, gas piped and electricity by this time as well. So these were much better off places to live than elsewhere. Okay, so that's the Samuel. So you can talk here about housing conditions, what it's like to live here, what sort of people got these places.
The conditions under which they got them.
The conditions under which they got them.
It
was exactly. There were all sorts of, like Peabody, where you had to know the right people to get in. This is
the good poor.
Yes, the deserving poor.
The decent poor.
The deserving poor, as they were called. Like you know, Alfred in Pygmalion, Alfred Doolittle, the dustman, says that he's like the undeserving poor, so he should get first dibs at everything. Right.
And if it's raining, John, where should people stay?
Very good question.
Difficult, isn't it?
It hasn't rained yet. It hasn't rained yet. That's all I can say. In the 4 years we've done this. So,
bring a large umbrella.
Well, I feel right.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's the same. You'll be the same elsewhere.
Yeah,
there aren't any alternatives here.
Places on this walk.
On this walk, it's it's a bit of a challenge.
Exposed to the elements, yes. Good.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Paying to listen to us anyway, will they?
So come prepared.
Yes.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Exam,
Yeah.
It's okay to stand at the side.
Yes, it is outside here. This has never been opened, but actually you might be right. It's probably better if you stand a bit forward.
What are they doing
A
there?
bit. It's a community hall.
It looks quite small.
Yeah.
So this is a housing association,
I've
then,
never
not
seen
a
it
council.
used ever. Yeah. No, you're right, Christina. Good point. A good point to make, Christina. Yeah, good
What did she
point.
say?
That we shouldn't stand in front of that door. So stand a bit forward of it. Now, on your exam, you won't have the halls we've got today. You'll have there's be two examiners and Mary and I.
Yeah, the big.
So the small. Yeah. You still get a view of everything and still talk and not shout. Okay. Right. Well, now we're going down back to Upper Street and we're going to have a look at what you'll see what we're going to look at because it's the most prominent feature as you walk down the road.
Are you going to indicate
Oh, sorry.
Side. Yeah, I'm going to do this
and
side.
then they don't have to all work?
That's right. I think yeah.
But they got, in the end, some of them chose to